Hello and welcome to the Scum and Villainy Report. Today we're going to be talking about limited resources. In times of economic uncertainty, who should our government be helping first? Citizens or non-citizens? Today we're seeing these policies that not only ignore this question, but seem to flip it entirely on its head. First up, let's check out this video from California.
Undocumented immigrants now have an opportunity to get a home loan in California. Assembly Bill 1840 was passed by the state Senate last month, which specifies if applicants to the California Dream for All program meet all requirements, they are not allowed to be disqualified solely based on immigration status.
You heard that right. California is facing one of the worst housing crises in the nation, with many citizens struggling to afford rent or even find a house at all. Yet instead of focusing on the citizens of the state, a new law offers $150,000 in down payment assistance. Not for them, but for undocumented migrants. Let that sink in. While veterans sleep on the streets and middle-class families are being priced out of their homes, $150,000 is being given to people who aren't even legally supposed to be here. How does that make sense? It's not just tone deaf. It's dangerous policy. It's rewarding people who broke the law while leaving hardworking Americans to foot the bill. Next up, Chicago.
Officials tonight said Daly College is an ideal location because it's move-in ready and a fraction of the cost of a hotel. But many in the crowd didn't want to hear it.
When do citizens of the United States of America come first?
On the southwest side, city officials getting an earful.
How about this? Give them all these politicians' addresses and put them in their backyards, in their basements, in their houses.
This meeting at Richard J. Daly College comes as the city, starting as early as this weekend, prepares to use this gymnasium until August 1st, and 2 auxiliary classrooms on the campus through the end of November to shelter more than 400 migrants. But the debate igniting anger about how the city for decades has treated its poor.
We do not take care of our own people.
This gathering comes a day after the city council at a heated meeting approved $51 million in emergency migrant funding. That money only expected to last through the end of this month.
You speak very much about the money. It's our money.
What we're seeing in Chicago is nothing short of infuriating. Residents there are being told that their public spaces, places meant for education and community activities, are being repurposed to house illegal migrants. These are people who have spent their lives paying taxes, contributing to their neighborhoods, and building communities. And now they're being told, sorry, your needs come second to the people who just arrived here legally. You can't make this up. This isn't just about housing. This is about priority. What message are we sending to the people who call these places home? It's almost as if the government is saying, you don't matter, at least not as much as the latest political agenda. It's unsustainable, and it's unfair. Chicago and California are just the tip of the iceberg, though. Let's turn to New York, another sanctuary city, where the numbers tell a staggering story.
There are actually now more people seeking asylum in our city shelters than there are homeless New Yorkers. Today, News 4's Melissa Russo got an exclusive look inside the first stop for new arrivals. We're talking about the Roosevelt Hotel Processing Center, Melissa.
Yeah, Natalie, walking into that large waiting room today at the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown, it was hard not to be struck by the magnitude of this migration crisis, shouldered almost entirely by the New York City taxpayers.
So walking through these doors every day, more than 400 people per day.
It's one thing to hear the numbers. It's another to see today's newcomers all in one place.
Right now, the city is taking care of close to 100,000 people in this system with no end in sight.
We've done so many vaccinations at the arrival center here that we've almost exhausted the vaccine supplies that we've had.
The Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown offers medical and mental health screenings, rooms to more than 800 families with children, and a way station of sorts for new arrivals who have the potential to depart from New York.
And to help you to establish your goals and to see what we can do as a city to help you get there, and to give you that critical period of time to enable us to get through to those friends or family members across the country, and then to rebook you so that you don't have to enter our city system.
But many migrants don't have friends or family here, and the city is not saying how many of the roughly 400 who come in each day have been rerouted somewhere else.
I became a citizen since 1980. I didn't come that way. I passed through the right channel. Why don't them pass through the right channel? They should secure the border.
New Yorkers concerned and surprised by news of the tipping point, the burden almost entirely on city taxpayers.
It is my vision to take the next step to this, to go to the faith-based locales, and then move to private residents. There are residents who are suffering right now because of economic challenges. They have spare rooms, they have locales, and if we can find a way to get over the 30-day rule and other rules that government has in its place, we can take that $4.2 billion, 4.3 it may be now, that we potentially would have to spend.
Billions. That's the amount New York City is spending on illegal migrants. And to put that into perspective, migrants in the city now outnumber the homeless population. Think about that for a second. New York has one of the largest homeless populations in the country, with citizens who've been struggling for years to make ends meet. But the focus isn't on them anymore. Instead, resources that should be going to get homeless Americans off the streets and back on their feet are being funneled towards providing for migrants. Billions spent, not on citizens in need, but on people who entered the country illegally. It's like watching the government turn its back on its own people. These examples highlight a trend that's impossible to ignore. Our government's resources are being drained in ways that benefit non-citizens over the people who have lived, worked, and contributed to this country their entire lives. It's not just unfair, it's unsustainable. We need to ask, how much longer can this continue before the very foundation of our communities starts to crack? This isn't about turning our backs on compassion, but compassion should start at home. If we can't take care of our own citizens, how are we supposed to sustain policies that prioritize illegal migrants? The simple answer is, we can't. And it's time our leaders wake up to the reality before the crisis gets even worse. Well, that's all I got for today. Please let me know what you think. Comment down below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.